This is now our discussion on rheumatic fever as one of our series of conditions which affects our cardiovascular system. So rheumatic fever class is a condition which affects your connective tissues. Let me begin by saying that no GABs, no rheumatic fever. So again, no GABs, okay, that's group A, beta, hemolytic, streptococcal bacteria. So when there is no GABS infection or history of GABS infection, there could be no rheumatic fever. So GABS infection class is a prerequisite for a person to be considered, no, to be a suspect of rheumatic fever. GABS infection class are those kinds of infections which actually causes your tonsillitis or the cause of pharyngitis or the cause of your strep throat, scarlet fever, hay fever. Kani nga mga conditions class, ang most common causative agent is your group A beta hemolytic streptococcal bacteria. However, because of the usual practice of people nga kung magka-tonsillitis and so on, dili man mo inom og antibiotic. Why? Because we are used to the fact nga maayo raman ko nganong mo inuman ko og antibiotic nga mawagtang raman tinuod ang tonsillitis or pharyngitis. So mao nang wala sila nag-inom og antibiotics. Now, that is problematic class because GABS infection should be treated with your amoxicillin or penicillin in order to take it away because these infections can descend and go to the connective tissues of the body. These connective tissues class may involve your heart or your kidneys or your joints. So mao na nga naatay madungog nga rheumatic heart disease because the heart valves are connective tissues. Naatay madungog nga nephrotic syndrome, naatay madungog nga polyarthritis. These are attributable to your GABS infection. Okay? So again, GABS infection is a bacteria which has caused your most common URTIs like tonsillitis, pharyngitis, strep throat, and so on. And whenever these conditions are untreated with antibiotics, they may present in the form of rheumatic fever. Kasagaran man good practice na to class is if magka-tonsillitis, mag-unsa raman ta, limogmog, no? Mag-gargle lang ta og initubig nga naay asin, kay ingon man si mama. Or sometimes basin nagbactidol ta kay medyo nakaluwag-luwag, no, nakapalit og bactidol unya napay sideline nga strepsils lozenges nga antibacterial. But these medications class, I'm not saying nga dili na siya maayo nga mga practices. Okay ra man na siya. No, they are okay because these practices can effectively kill the bacteria insofar as they are in the surface. So kung naara na sa imuhang passageway, kaya ra na siya, magargle ra na nimo. Kung napa na siya sa imong tutunlan, magargle pa na nimo. But what about those GABS infection nga naa sa cellular level, naa sa tissue level, naa sa imuhang dugo? Maabot din ang imong bactidol didto, maabot din ang imuhang lozenges didto, no? So, pwede siya, makapatay siya sa imuhang surfaces but not those underneath. In the same manner nga kung hugaw atong kamot magbutang tag alcohol, effective man ang alcohol, but the alcohol is only good insofar as the surface is concerned. Walay appeal ang cellular level. So unsa may lesson atong nakuha din ha class? Your GABS infection should and must be treated with antibiotics, specifically amoxicillin or penicillin, because otherwise these untreated infections can develop and become rheumatic fever. This is precisely the reason why class, usa sa indication for tonsillectomy is kanang magsigig balik-balik ang imong tonsillitis. Let's say tonsillitis ka katulog ka upat sulod sa usa ka tuig. Unsa may prescribe sa doktor mo? Ingon na ng doktor nga tangtango na lang na ang imuhang tonsils. Ngano man, delikado mangud class nga ang GABS infection mo descend dito sa imong heart valves, mo descend sa imong kidney or maabot pa na sa imuhang nagkalain-lain nga mga joints. Nganong kana may gitarget sir? Because again, these three areas are connective tissues. Now, how do we diagnose rheumatic fever? The diagnosis of rheumatic fever is a two-step procedure. Duha na siya ka step. Step number 1 and then step number 2. Step number 1 class requires a determination of whether or not there has been prior exposure to your GABS infection. Okay? Because again, our principle is no GABS, no rheumatic fever. So you have to assess by history and ask the patient, unsa man ka ma'am, sir, kanang naaba kay na encounter or naaba kay history of tonsillitis in the past 2 weeks or 3 weeks, unsa man ka na kay pharyngitis or sakit sa tutunlan, unsa man. Nya mo ana ang pasyente nga na tonsillitis ko 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. So that alone class is already a positive determination that naagyud kay possible nga GABS infection. Okay? So that satisfies your condition or criteria number 1 nga kinahanglan na akay prior exposure to GABS. Now, what if moana ang pasyente nga kanang di man ko kahinumdum kung naaba ko'y GABS infection, dili na ko karikol, or maybe ang mama imong gipangutana ni ana ka ma'am naunsa maning bata nagka-tonsillitis ni siya 2 or 3 weeks ago, moana ang mama nga di naman ko kahinumdum dok, unya wa man ko kabantay dok, pero naghilana to siya pero di ko sure kung unsa to siya. So how would we now ascertain nga naay GABS infection? Nga kinahanglan lagi basta rheumatic fever, we should be able to determine nga naagid kay prior exposure to GABS infection. So unsa man imong buhaton, it will have to undergo a laboratory test. Unsa man na siya nga laboratory test class? That is your anti-streptolysin O titer. So anti-streptolysin O titer. Kung mutaas gani ang imuhang ASO titer, anti-streptolysin O titer, it only means that there was indeed prior exposure to GABS. Okay? There was indeed prior exposure to GABS. So class, the determination in step number 1 of prior exposure to GABS is either by asking the patient or by undergoing a test, such that if moingon siya nga wala ko na-expose, no, or wala makita sa ASO titer, then you don't have to proceed to step number 2. Nga naman, you don't have to proceed to step number 2 because the principle is no GABS, no rheumatic fever. Now, class, what if ni yes ka sa step number 1? Then you proceed with step number 2. Okay? And the step number 2 is what we call as the Jones criteria. Okay? This is what we call as the Jones criteria. What does the Jones criteria require? For a person to be said to have rheumatic fever, the patient must manifest 2 major symptoms, or if the patient manifests only 1 major symptom, the patient must have or must be accompanied with 2 minor symptoms. Okay? So 2 major or 1 major with 2 minor symptoms. Therefore, it is critical to determine what are the major symptoms and what are the minor symptoms, because actually class, it has been asked na in the previous board exam. Ni ana sa board exam, which of the following is not a major symptom of rheumatic fever? O diba? So what if kana may ipangutana sa atua? What if atuan ng board exam? What if mabalik na sa atong board exam? So we must be able to memorize what are the major symptoms and what are the minor symptoms of GABS, of rheumatic fever. Okay? So let's begin with what are the major symptoms versus the minor symptoms. Okay? So major symptoms class includes, number 1, there must be joint pain. Okay? There must be joint pain. But however, kinahanglan, there must be pain in the joints. Kinahanglan na ay letter S, because we call this class as polyarthritis. Many joints must be involved, because if it only includes usa ka joint, no, usa ra gyud ka joint ang naapektuhan, then it is a minor symptom. Again, the first symptom is polyarthritis, or where several joints are involved, because if only one is involved, then it is a minor symptom. Next class is your carditis, your letter big C, no? Carditis or inflammation of the heart. Sa Bisaya, ang paghubag sa kasing-kasing. Another major symptom class is your nodules, na akay ma-feel nga mga lusay-lusay, mga bugon-bugon. Okay? You call it as your nodules. Or number 4, you can have rashes, and you call it as erythema marginatum. Okay? Erythema marginatum, or rashes in the skin. And number 5, no, major symptom is your Saint Vitus dance. Saint Vitus dance, or otherwise called as your chorea. Unsa man na siyang chorea? Chorea refers to the involuntary jerking movements of the limbs. So ana-ana lang ng imong kamot o imuhang tiil beyond your control. That's why it's like a dance. So gitawag na siya og dance of Saint Vitus or your Saint Vitus dance, more commonly known as your chorea. So this is not difficult to memorize, class, because you have a mnemonic here. Your mnemonic is letter J, heart, which stands for carditis, N, letter E, and letter S. So what do you have? You have Jones criteria. These are your major symptoms. On the other hand, what are the minor symptoms of rheumatic fever? So one na diha, class, when a single joint is involved. And included there are your laboratory findings. Unsa may mga possible nga mga laboratory findings that can point out, no, to possible rheumatic fever. So you can have, usa na diha atong nahibaw-an is the anti-streptomycin O titer. Okay? So positive gani ka sa ASO, that's a minor symptom. What else? Pwede mo taas ang imuhang WBC. Why WBC, class? Because WBC may indicate infection as in carditis or in arthritis. So what is the normal value of WBC? It must be 5,000 to 10,000, meaning it must not exceed 10,000. Because in excess of 10,000 is already leukocytosis, which actually means infection or it could mean trauma. Okay? Pwede sa glass musaka ang imuhang ESR. Unsa man na siyang ESR? ESR or erythrocyte sedimentation rate. ESR, class, is not specific to any kind of disease. Musaka gani na siya, it cannot tell you kung unsa ang problema sa pasyente. But it may tell you that there is a present inflammation. Dunay nahitabo nga inflammation. So let's say na kay carditis. Is that an inflammation? Yes. What would you expect of the ESR? Musaka. Okay? So nisaka ang ESR because there is an inflammation. What if na kay arthritis? Musaka ba ang ESR? Yes, because that is also an inflammation. Okay? So ASO, WBC, ESR. And associated with WBC, class, your patient may also manifest fever. Okay? Pwede sad siyang mag-fever. Or you can have a prolonged PR interval. Okay? Prolonged PR interval. Take note, class, that your normal PR interval is 0.12. So 0.12. 0.12 to 0.20 seconds. Meaning, if the time from P to R is in excess of 0.20 seconds, that is already a prolonged PR interval, which may mean that there is carditis. Now, let's explain this further, class. Kaning prolonged PR interval. Remember, the heart pumps because there is an electrical current that flows in the heart. Na ay kurente na nagdagan sa imong kasing-kasing. And the kurente or the power is first generated at a site called your SA node. SA node or your sinoatrial node. It is at the sinoatrial node where the power is generated. That's why it is called as the major pacemaker of the heart. It makes the pace. It makes your heart pump. From the SA node, this kurente will travel going to the AV node. Okay? It travels to the AV node, and from the AV node, it will travel to the bundle of His, and eventually, it will travel via right and left bundle branches into your Purkinje fibers. So, ingon ana ang flow sa kurente. The kurente flows starting from the SA to the AV to the bundle of His to the right and left bundle branches, then eventually to the Purkinje fibers. When we translate that, class, into the ECG, your SA actually represents your P wave. And your AV actually represents the R of the QRS complex. So if this is your ECG, this is your P wave, this is your QRS, then this is your T wave. Okay? That is your normal ECG. Again, this is your P, this is your Q, this is your R, this is your S, and this is your T. Okay? So where is the PR interval here? Asa man si PR interval? This is your PR interval. Okay? This point here is your PR interval. And the PR interval should be 0.12 to 0.20 because if it goes in excess, one meaning there is that posible nga naay carditis. Nga naman, okay. If this is your normal heart, okay, let's divide the heart into 4. This is where your SA node is found. It goes here. This is your AV. It goes to the bundle of His, to the right and to the left bundle branches, then eventually to the Purkinje fibers. Okay? So this is your heart. Therefore, class, if we say that the SA node is P and the AV node is R, this is letter P and this is letter R. Okay? So meaning, ang time nga gi-travel from letter P or SA padulong sa letter R takes around 0.12 to 0.20 seconds. But what happens when you have carditis? Unsay Bisaya sa carditis? Ang imong heart ni hubag. So nidako ang imong heart, nihubag, there is carditis. So what happens? Nidako ang imong heart, so letter P or the SA node is already here going to the letter R or the AV node. My question is, nilayo, nidool? Di ba nilayo? So kung nilayo, what happens to the time from letter P going to R? Siyempre, nitaas because there is carditis. Okay? So these are, class, your major and your minor symptoms of rheumatic fever. Now, last part, class, how do we manage rheumatic fever? We manage it, class, by taking away the GABS infection. Ang GABS, manggod may atong patyon. Kinahanglan na nato patyon. Because even if wala ka nagmanifest of symptoms, the GABS could remain dormant at the connective tissues of the body. Delikado, no? So unsa may atong tambal para mamatay ang GABS? Katong atong tambal, class, is penicillin. Okay? Penicillin is the drug of choice in order to eliminate your GABS infection. How about for your arthritis or your joint pains? Unsa may atong gamiton? Sakit man na. So pain reliever is ibuprofen. How about carditis, which is an inflammation? What is an anti-inflammatory drug? So you give your corticosteroids. How about your chorea? Unsa may tambal na to? Then we give phenobarbital or we can give diazepam. Class, that is rheumatic fever, and watch out for more videos. Thank you.